You have the upside for, let's say, depth 1 and the downside for depth 2, and you just try which one works. How did we do it? How did we raise the writes on our keys? Our first approach was to drill the holes into the key, which worked really, really good, but as we later found out, it was overkill. There was a much easier approach. You can just file the keys. You make a mark at the position where you want to put your new dimple. You insert the right pin for the depth of the dimple you want to have. It's either a pin 1, a 0, 1, or 2 into the inner cylinder. And then you pull out your key blank. And this doesn't look like a normal key blank. Actually, that comes in the later part. We made completely our own keys. But for the moment, let's say this is a normal key. You put this pin here, and then you take out the key and you file at the position you marked before, and insert it again, and you look if the pin matches smoothly with the surface of the cylinder. And you repeat this process until it does. And for added precision, you can put the outer cylinder over the inner cylinder and check if they smoothly rotate within each other. And by this approach, we could put dimples on any position in any required depth on the keys. As I said, we wanted to make completely keys from scratch because the BKS Janus blanks are quite hard to get because of the key control issues. We took a messing rod, diameter 3.8 millimeters, cut pieces of it, soldered it together in the back, and by the technique I mentioned, we did all the dimples we wanted on it, and it works. Next slide, and here we see it, a bit unconventional, but it works. And this key, in comparison to the casted keys from Woods or Roses metal, I would, with no problem, have in my pocket. I don't think it will break, and I don't think I will poison myself with it. So far to the BKS Janus, you can later come up and watch the model, and I'm happy to explain the function in detail if anyone is interested. Next, Ray will tell you something about wrapping keys.
Okay. I don't know how many of you know the wrap, but there are a few around here. We got this machine in Munich in our Chaos Club headquarters about 2 months ago, and somewhere we thought, possibly you can make keys with it. What is a wrap? Wrap looks like this. It's a square machine having an extruder moving in all 3 axes, and it's extruding a plastic. We use ABS to print 3D objects of basically any shape. There are a few restrictions. You can't print overhangs and such stuff, but you can print nice objects. You can look at the Meta Lab, for example, here on the camp to see a few one printings with a quite nice collection of objects. So the only drawback is that it uses plastic, and of course with plastic stability is an issue. So it came to us, it would be interesting if this would be possible to create keys with it. So we were thinking what kind of a key could be printed with a wrap. I don't think a BKS Janus key could be printed, but who knows, we haven't tried so far. So the larger the better basically would mean you have enough space so the tolerances aren't so tight and everything. But if it's too large, you have overhangs. For example, like in a key for a safe, you have very large overhangs. You possibly would have to print it flat, which gives other problems. So I was thinking there must be a key which is perfect for making a key with a wrap and presenting it at HAR. And people who saw my talks in New York or in Berlin might guess what I found. A key for police handcuffs. But of course, standard police handcuffs are a bit boring and they have a very small key. So I searched for a special one in my collection. And this one is used by the German police for escorts to a court and everything. And it has a quite high security lock. It's a 3-lever Padlock. For people who don't know, that's 3 discs moving up and down, or sliders moving up and down in 3 different heights, and they have to be in the correct height so the lock opens. The other interesting thing about this lock is that this key isn't so complicated. It's this key with 3 dents at the end. But it's only sold to the police forces of Germany because it's so a secret key. So I thought printing this key would be possibly nice if it would work. And it works. I have one here which is printed on our machine in Munich. And you can see it fits just like a normal key. You move it and it opens the lock. We had some stability issues at the head, which is why I added some plastic glue here. But we could change the model and make it a bit wider. But the rest really was quite positive experience. So why did I think this is a special nice key for HAR? The last picture shows a German Hage handcuff. And I heard Hage produces also the cuffs for the Dutch police. And they share the same lock. So we thought possibly the Dutch police should be informed about the availability of plastic keys for their handcuffs, because they're not findable by metal detectors or something. So yesterday I approached a few policemen running around here. Luckily we have a few. And I asked them if they would be interested in trying out this key in their handcuffs. They wouldn't want to. They said something like, we don't want to help you in improving your key, or we don't want you to help you checking your key. I told him, I know it works. I want to show you that it works in your handcuff. But they thought, oh, the key is secret, it's government controlled, and so then they shouldn't run around with it hanging on their belt. It was quite easy to compare it to mine, so I was sure it's the right one. I'll take this one, okay. So today, a friend of mine approached them again and told them, we verified that we just want you to have it. So you know there's a plastic key, you can play around with it. And they let us check it. So applause for the Dutch police. They gave us a handcuff and we could verify the key works. So, go to the internet. On this page you find an STL model from which you can create code for the rep. It's actually not such an easy process. We tried at the Meta Lab and we failed because the settings we used in Munich are different, but it's a good basis to play with it, and I'll update it possibly when I'm back in Munich with some more models which result from the tries I can do here with other reps. So the URL is key.new, key.y.new, quite short, all I can think you can remember it. I didn't want you to forget it until you are at your PC. So now we come to decoding attacks, and I hand over to MH for his really nice decoding attack on a brand new combination lock.
So this is now something without keys. We should see a picture. We don't. Anyway, many of you might have seen that in the lockpicking village already. We have found a new lock on the market, which allows you to lock your locker or whatever with a small padlock, which accepts a combination, but you don't need to enter any digits or dial any numbers or something, but it just reacts to up, down, left, right movements. And it's